Good morning, good morning. Where do I put my iPad? Okay, let's put it right here. Uh, may not do a lot of work today. Probably won't do any work. This is my crazy composition notebook that I have turned into a planner slash brain dump slash uh, spilling out frustrations. A bunch of things. Putting in articles from newspapers, magazines. Here's the eclipse. Thoughts on how horrible current affairs are right now. I plan a little bit. The terrible fires. I grew up in this area of California, and it's just awful, awful, awful. And being ignored practically, as is Puerto Rico, as is Las Vegas, as is Texas, as is Florida. Horrible tragedy last night in New York. I started feeling like I didn't do my channel for almost a week. At the last week of October, I had tons of stuff I had to do. Two big parties. If you haven't paid any attention, or not that you haven't paid any attention, if you haven't watched, I had this room that I'm in. We had unexpected reconstruction done on it due to rotten wood. That led to some more places in the house that were rotten underneath in the foundation. I mean, we've had a whole slew. October has been a wild month. And I ended up posting my last week of Halloween art prompts that I did on my Instagram page. And I even missed 2 days there, but I caught back up. It's finished. I did 4 platforms. I did a traveler's notebook, I did an altered book, I did a page of circles where everything was on one huge big piece of paper. I did a traveler's notebook from Pear T Stickers, who I love. Not sponsored, I just love her stickers. I love the way she does it. And sorry if you can hear the dog barking next door, but it'll go on for 3 more hours. He'll take a nap and then he'll start in for another 3 more hours every day. Not to mention the rooster. So I thought, okay, just let's catch up. Let's start fresh. It's November 1st. I cannot believe it is November 1st. You know how some people, beauty people or clothes people on YouTube say, my monthly favorites. Well, my monthly favorites for October were my new floor in this room. It has been completely redone. We had to go down to the joists, replace the joists, replace the subflooring, put in new hardwood floors, paint this room, rearranged it, put it all back in here because it was all in my living room. I think I'll try to attach pictures here. It was awful. All due to poor duct work from our heating and air system with insulation under the house. And all of that heating and air condensation that happens was trapped in insulation, was then trapped into particle board, which was what our subflooring turned out to be made out of. And that over 25 years rotted. And because this room was carpeted, because I guess I had a ton of metal shelving units in this room, nobody smelled it, including us, including the construction workers. They did not smell it. When they pulled up the carpet, we all gagged. The wood was shredding, literally, in their hands. It was black. It was covered in mold. I got sick from it. One of the other guys, construction workers, got sick, even though they protected themselves. I didn't the first night. And I guess it was exposed for one night, and it made me sick. I had an upper respiratory thing. I still have a tiny bit of it. Infused with other germs from a 7-year-old granddaughter who loves sharing all of her germs with me. A lot. Okay, so one of my favorites for the month of October is a new floor. I figured out how to do music on YouTube. I can't figure out how to buy music and put it on YouTube yet. I know it's simple and so elementary, but I'm sorry. Um, I had 2 great Halloween parties. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was fun. It's done. I'm done for a whole nother year. Yay. One actually I'm done for 4 years. And that one revolves through our family, and it's done every 4 years. Um, I had some amazing favorites on YouTube, and I've linked the actual episodes that they were like eye-popping moments for me. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. I have a new channel. I have chosen myself to get rid of my 2 previous channels, 3 previous channels. One was a quilting one, but I had 2 previous journaling channels. A lot of content, because I like to do this every day, because I just like to process every day, and those are the videos I like to watch. Those are the videos I do watch, and those are the videos I like to make. I'm not in it for money. I'm in it for fun and meeting people. One of who she knows who she is, I have met, and amazing, and she lives in a whole nother hemisphere, and one day we're going to try to meet. I don't know where or when, but we're going to try to meet. So this is a new channel. I think it started like the first week in October. And I really do love making videos. And I almost stopped completely. This past week where I haven't made any, I thought, boy, it sure is a lot easier to do them on Instagram. And just do a tiny, whatever they call those things, stories. Or even just a tiny video. Or just a picture. Many pictures. But I really enjoy making it, and I really enjoy watching them, and I really enjoy the editing and learning and tech and all that kind of stuff behind it, even though I'm still very elementary and probably not in frame most of the time. I love doing it. I'm going to keep doing it just because it gives me a focus every day. It gives me a reason to be in here. I spend 4 or 5 hours a day here. I don't have to work anymore. I enjoy this. I enjoy the community. I have met people. Blah, 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 blah. So whoever watches it or doesn't watch it, whatever. I'm just going to keep making them till it's not fun anymore. But I have lost all of my content because I deleted it. It was my choice. It was family issues. The last one that I did in the first week in October, I regret, but it's gone. It's too late. It's gone. I deleted everything. And I'm not going into why. It's just my husband. I'm in a family of, I'm a stepmother. And there's some squabbles going on in our family lately. And I'm not a fighter at all. At all. So, point not all that I'm detrimental to myself, but whatever. I really regret taking down the last videos. And so I started up a new one with numbers where maybe they can't find me. And I do love the Traveler's Notebook format, so it's called 4x8 paper stuff, because I like to do stuff in a 4x8 Traveler's Notebook fashion. Ta-da! And it changed my life when I discovered that size. I was an old scrapbooker from way back when, 12 by 12, tons of it. I do love to travel. I am fortunate enough to get to travel a lot, and I like to document my travels. Sometimes I'm not going anywhere, so I make up trips. Like I did a whole trip around the world. Anyhow, I used to be travel journal time. Now I'm 4x8 paper stuff. So, in and amongst all this amazing stuff and favorites, there's been some horrible tragedies in October and late September. The shooting in Las Vegas happened October 1st. The tragic fires in California started on October 9th. New York City was last night, Halloween, October 31st. In between there, in and amongst all of that, we had horrible hurricanes in the United States and in U.S. territories. And they started before October, but the effects, tragically, are going to be around for a very long time. Houston has a ton of trouble still. Florida is in a ton of trouble still. Puerto Rico, holy moly, we can't even begin to think how that's going to happen and work and get fixed eventually. Um, and it just breaks my heart that all these tragedies, they're worse, they're bigger. The fires in California. I grew up in that part of California, and we have friends that lost houses. Uh, it's horrible. It's tragic. And of course, the news cycle keeps it for like 36 hours, and boom, they're on to something else. Granted, there's a lot of crap in the United States government at the moment that is easy to focus on and can consume anybody's life. I choose to journal it out angrily and move forward. I'm not able to fix it. I have a voice. I don't want to talk about politics here. So, we're going to reboot November 1st, today. Rebooting, catching up, my favorites. You see this. This is just a journal thing that I'm making. I love sevens. Sevens are in nature. Sevens are in math. Sevens are in everything. That poor dog. It's a very old dog, and he just barks at the air for 3 hours. So, my favorite my favorite 3 journalers in October, and for a very long time, have been the Rebookery channel. I love color, and I love lots of stuff. She has color and lots of stuff. But she came up with a waterfall pocket project the other day that was amazing. And I kind of did my own rendition of it. I'm going to link her below. I've made about 6 of them already. Loved that. James Burke. I'm not a mermaid person, and I'm not a lady person. I value their art. I value all of that creativity. It's just not my style. But he did his Inktober. One day was the Addams Family. And he is an artist, so he recreated the movie poster of one of the Addams Families. I can't remember which one. Angelica Houston, he kept saying, was in it. But he put his faces, all of the faces in the family, on the movie poster, and altered them enough to make them look like the characters in the movie. Oh my God, it was amazing. Are you going?
Yes. Later, Gator.
Bye.
Can I bring dinner, or do you know yet?
I don't know. We still have short ribs.
That's true. Finish those off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Mr. 4x8 Paper Stuff. He's my sponsor. He just doesn't know it. Okay, James Burke, the Addams Family, what he did. And I've got that link below, and I've got the link for the Rebookery Waterfall Pocket Project. And I also love Crafty Hodges. She has done some really neat things. Really, really amazing tutorials. Some of it I like. Some of it is not my style, but they're amazing. And I like it. And my husband's still here. Oh, don't worry, man. Oh. Okay, he's leaving. I tend to be more travel oriented. I don't see a lot of mermaids in my travels. I don't see a lot of fancy ladies in my travels. Or these quirky characters, which I love, but I don't see those in my travel. And I started right before I started October, a river journal. And I picked 7 rivers around the world, and I'm exploring them. And that's what I'm going to continue with. We had started with the Sacramento River only because that's close to where I grew up. No, we started the Broad River, which is where I live in South Carolina. And we took a field trip. We did a lot of neat stuff. Then we went into we took 2 field trips actually. We went into the Nile River just because of its amazing effect on a huge part of the world. And papyrus. I'm a quilter also, and paper and fabric and all of that is amazing in Egypt, I think. And I did a bunch of stuff. And I did some found journaling pages that I created as if I came across this amazing lady's journal. And she had just come from a trip down the Nile River in the early 1900s. I did that kind of like that. And I kind of like fantasy as far as creating somebody's journal as if they wrote it 100 years ago, and how they observed going down a river, or how they observed going into the Vatican. I mean, just wherever. I just love imagining old travel journals from famous or infamous people or imaginary people. And that's kind of what this has evolved into. And I love maps. I love Jose Naranja. I didn't include him in my October's favorites because he's always on my favorite list. Always, no matter what month it is. Jose Naranja, there's something about his aesthetic in his journal. I am not neat and organized. I guess I would love to be neat and organized. This is kind of like me hoping one day I'll be neat and organized. But I love maps. And that happens with my gypsy soul wanting to go and be always on a trip somewhere. And then we got into the Sacramento River because that is close to where I grew up, and it has affected where my mom's family is from, the San Joaquin Valley. They were farmers, are farmers, were farmers, and the Sacramento River feeds into all of that water system in the San Joaquin Valley, and that's where I grew up, so I wanted to include that one. And right before I ended and stopped for October, I was heading to the Amazon. So, come with me. We're going to the Amazon tomorrow. And I have notes in here. And palm trees. And that was Bill Gates. That's not something crazy. Talking about which books he likes to read. This is my brain dump / journal / whatever. I don't do it like you're supposed to. I kind of just make it my own. And because I like color, there's a lot of color in this stuff. And it's just a composition notebook, but I love that format. And then I love the Traveler's Notebook format. And I have turned some of these into this size in the past. So, I'll be back tomorrow with an Amazon entry. Not that I bought off of Amazon.com, an Amazon River. And the dog will probably still be barking. I got to take out all my Halloween washi tape and get rid of it, and my Halloween stickers and get rid of them. And start down the Amazon. So, see you tomorrow. We'll be doing something tomorrow. You'll get to process with me. That's another thing I wanted to say. My videos are long. Because I like processing with other processors. And I love I have an iPad usually right here to my left, and I'm watching something. The news isn't always the greatest, so I like YouTube, and I can find documentaries on YouTube, and I love to watch a documentary, a good old documentary. And where was I going with this? I usually forget to finish my sentences all the time. And I know Kurtie's yelling at the screen because she keeps track of me. Welcome home, Kurtie. I missed you. Oh, processing. I like to process and keep my mind moving. Sometimes I watch people on streaming. Sometimes I watch videos over again. Sometimes I'm watching documentaries. I love me a good train travel documentary. Don't ask me why. It's the gypsy soul that I have. I would love to do a train trip. Like the Orient Express. Wouldn't the Orient Express or something like that be awesome? We do not have good train travel in this country. We do have Amtrak. It's not amazing like it is in Europe. And there's good and bad trains. I've been on a terrible train trip in Greece. From Athens to Thessalonica. Oh my goodness, that train was horrible. But we were all excited to be there, and we were all excited to get to do what we were going to do, so who cared? But anyhow, I would love to do a really amazing sleeper car type train trip. I really would love to go in India, but I don't know if I could handle those trains. And I know there's first class and other things. I don't have to be with the lady that has brought her chicken to market, and I value what she has to do. I just don't want to be. I have chickens in the little house next door to me. I don't want to be on a train with a chicken. Okay, this is taking a turn for the worst. I'm going to stop. See you all tomorrow. Process with me. That's what I'm trying to say. Process with me. And show me your processes. I'm going to link hopefully I'm going to link my Instagram account down below. And my email address for this channel. Feel free to leave comments. I'll try to answer them. I'm not good at tech, but I'm trying. Alrighty. See you all tomorrow, November 2nd. Let's go to the Amazon. You got your mosquito netting?